Hello there, lovely good evening and welcome to Camnet TV main news today, the 24th of August in the year 2026. Let's now take a look at the news headlines. Court closure threatens access to justice, warns TIZ. 79 arrested in LUSAKA cybercrime crackdown. SALUBUSA accepts election outcome, urges SAKALA to save MATERO. In international news, aid cuts leave millions of Somali children facing hunger. In sports news, KABWE Warriors steps up preparations for 2026 Transitional League at Railway Stadium. Join us for these and many more stories after the break.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Camnet TV main news now showing on Top Star Channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube and on the Kenstream app. With the main news in detail, I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. Transparency International Zambia TIZ has condemned the closure of court premises during the post-election period, warning that the decision could obstruct an aggrieved presidential candidate from exercising the constitutional right to challenge the election results. TIZ said the judiciary closed the superior courts on Monday after its chief administrator issued an unsigned memorandum directing staff not to report for work for security reasons. The organization said checks at the superior court premises confirmed that the security forces had sealed the buildings and barred entry. TIZ Executive Director Maurice Nyambe said the timing of the closure was particularly concerning because it coincided with the last day of the constitutional window for commencing proceedings to challenge the presidential election results. The organization noted that an aggrieved presidential candidate had already publicly declared an intention to challenge the results. TIZ acknowledged the judiciary's responsibility to protect judicial officers, staff, litigants and court premises where genuine security threats exist. However, it argued that the closure, based on vaguely stated security concerns, had created uncertainty around access to justice at a critical stage of the electoral process.
Recognize the responsibility of the judiciary to safeguard judicial officers, staff, litigants, and even court premises themselves where a genuine security threat exists. But I think the gist of the concern we have really is that the timing of this decision falls within the post-election period, and in particular on the last day of the constitutional window for commencing proceedings to challenge the presidential election results. Now, it is of course already on a public record that one of the aggrieved presidential candidates has indicated their intention to challenge the results, and so it is very troubling that an administrative decision that will effectively serve as a stumbling block to the commencement of that intended action appears to have been made really with no or very little regard for the harm that will be occasioned on that aggrieved candidate's constitutional constitutional right. Now, in the midst of a very heightened political tension, the state really should be encouraging aggrieved political actors to seek judicial redress rather than creating circumstances or conditions that make it very difficult for that process to actually take effect. We therefore call upon the judiciary to immediately rescind this decision, subject of course to the necessary security arrangements being made, and in the case where physical reopening of the courts is genuinely impossible, the immediate establishment and public communication of alternative mechanisms through which commencement of actions can be done really needs to be put in place.
The Zambia Police Service and other security agencies have arrested 79 people during a joint operation targeting a suspected cybercrime network operating from Ivana Estates in New Kasama, Lusaka. Police Public Relations Officer Godfrey Chilavi said the operation was conducted on Sunday, August 23, 2026, after concerned members of the public tipped off authorities about suspicious activities at the premises. The operation involved the Zambia Police Service, Drug Enforcement Commission DEC, Department of Immigration, Zambia Cybersecurity Agency and other security institutions. Those apprehended include 35 Ugandans, 11 Chinese, 10 Zambians, 8 Kenyans, 6 Ghanaians, 5 Liberians, 2 Burundians, 1 Chadian and 1 Zimbabwean. Police and its partners seized 73 desktop computers, 6 laptops, 140 mobile phones, 5 Starlink kits, 2 external hard drives and 10 new SIM cards. The officers also recovered 75 passports, 21,490,000 kwacha, and assorted foreign currencies. Mr. Chilabi said preliminary investigations indicate that the premises may have been used by a newly established and highly organized network suspected of conducting cyber-related criminal activities.
The Zambia Police Service, Drug Enforcement Commission, Department of Immigration, Zambia Cybersecurity Agents and other security institutions wish to inform the public that 79 persons were apprehended during a joint operation conducted on 23rd August 2026 at Ivana Estates in New Kasama residential area, Lusaka. The operation followed a tip-off from concerned members of the public regarding suspicious activities at the premises. Those apprehended comprise 35 Ugandans, 11 Chinese, 10 Zambians, 8 Kenyans, 6 Ghanaians, 5 Liberians, 2 Burundians, 1 Chadian and 1 Zimbabwean national. During the operation, the joint team seized 73 desktop computers, 6 laptops, 140 mobile phones, 5 Starlink kits, 2 external hard drives, 10 new SIM cards and 75 passports. The team also seized 21,490 kwacha, 10,450 United States dollars and assorted foreign currencies. Preliminary investigations and an initial examination of the items recovered suggest that the premises were being used by a newly established and highly organized network suspected of conducting cyber-related criminal activities. The full nature, structure, scale, and extent of the suspected criminal activity, including its possible links to other individuals or networks within and outside Zambia, remain under investigation. The joint investigative team is also examining the circumstances surrounding the recruitment, accommodation, and working conditions of some of the foreign nationals apprehended.
Matero constituency Resolute Party RP losing parliamentary candidate Patrick Salubusa has ruled out challenging the election of UPND's Alexander Sakala, saying prayer and reflection have led him to accept the outcome. Mr. Sakala won the Matero parliamentary seat with 24,000 129 votes, beating Mr. SALUBUSA, who polled 18,614 votes. Mr. SALUBUSA said he made the decision after spending time in prayer at Chunga and Ilanda Catholic parishes, where he sought guidance on whether to petition the election result. In an interview and Facebook post, Mr. SALUBUSA said he believed he had received an answer and decided not to pursue a legal challenge. Mr. SALUBUSA said he entered the race after people in MATERO encouraged him to stand, adding that he responded to their call because he wanted to provide leadership. He said he had now chosen to leave the election outcome in God's hands rather than pursue his political ambitions through a court challenge. Mr. SALUBUSA said he would now spend time with his family and reflect on his political journey and assess his future political aspirations. He stressed that his decision did not result from fear, bitterness, or defeat, but from prayer and personal reflection. Mr. SALUBUSA said his experience had also taught him that people could provide leadership without holding elected office. He urged elected leaders of parliament to honor the trust voters had placed in them by serving their constituents diligently. Mr. SALUBUSA thanked his supporters and those who voted for him, saying he had no regrets about participating in the election. Zambezi West aspiring parliamentary candidate Dennis Kayombo Mano says he will file a petition challenging the constituency election results by Friday, August 28, 2026. Mr. Mano said his legal team was finalizing the petition to ensure that it met all legal requirements before filing in court. He said the 14-day period for filing the parliamentary election petition expires on August 28, leaving his team within the prescribed legal time framework. Mr. Mano also alleged that suspected supporters of the winning candidate damaged his property and tore documents related to the election. He displayed what he described as torn papers and other materials, which he said were damaged at his house. He said his decision to petition the election followed concerns over the conduct of the electoral process at one of the polling stations in Zambezi Central. Mr. Mano urged his supporters and residents of the constituency to remain patient as his lawyers complete the legal process. He said the legal team was taking time to prepare a comprehensive petition rather than rushing to court with an incomplete case. Mr. Mano said he had received numerous inquiries from residents seeking an update on when the petition would be filed. He assured them that the petition would be filed before the legal deadline and that he would subsequently inform the public about the next steps. The planned petition sets the stage for a legal challenge to the Zambezi Central parliamentary election outcome, with Mr. Mano saying he intends to use the courts to address the concerns raised by his campaign. He urged his supporters to remain calm while the legal process takes its course.
I would like to call upon the good people of Zambezi Central constituency to be patient. And I'm also calling on all our good people of Zambezi Central constituency to be patient and to stop the act of violence. No one should attack another, because these matters, we are seeking justice through the courts of the law. With me here, if you can see what has happened, what I'm holding to my hands here, this is a ballot box that was destroyed in Zambezi Central constituency. This is coming from Kateta polling station, one of the polling station that is in contentious with us in the matter. As you can see, these are ballot papers. These are ballot papers that were torn and teared by the suspected supporters of the person that actually we are not supposed to talk about here now from here. So what we are saying is that we are within the confines of the law, and by law our petition is supposed to be filed within 14 days. Our 14 days will be on the 28th of August 2026. So before Friday we are going to file in our petition, and we hope that after doing the petition We are going to inform the nation, we are going to inform the good people of Zambezi Central constituency that we have asked our lawyers to do a proper job, to do a proper work, because we don't want to take a petition to court that is not complete. So we are doing everything much possible that this petition is filed before the 28th as prescribed by the law, because we know that the presidential is 7 days, parliamentary is 14 days. So we are still within the time of the confines of the law. We have received a lot of queries from Zambezi. The people are anxious trying to find out how far we have gone with this petition. This petition is going to be filed before Friday. We are doing this to seek a precedence that during elections, no one should kill each other. No one should fight one another. During elections, people are supposed to campaign, to end the campaigns during the elections, and people are supposed to conduct themselves into the manner that is within the law. So my prayer request, or what I'm asking the good people of Zambezi Central constituency, that let them be patient, let them not attack one another, let them not kill one another because of this matter that we are taking to court. We are going to seek justice until the court decides. Then we'll be able to come and tell the nation, tell the people of Zambezi Central how far we have gone with our petition, and whatever court will decide, because we know that the law is there, and whatever the court will decide, we'll respect it. So as at now, as I've said, as at now, just to tell the people of Zambezi Central to be patient and wait when the matter is taken to court.
We now take our first set of commercials, but do join us for more news when we come back. Do stay tuned.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration, or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for still joining us on the Camnet News Desk. The main news continues. Ruling United Party for National Development UPND youth leaders in Lusaka, Northwestern and Copperbelt provinces have urged opposition leaders to accept defeat in the 2026 general election and avoid statements they say could undermine peace in Zambia. Speaking during a joint media briefing today, UPND Lusaka Province Youth Chairman Anderson Banda, Northwestern Province Youth Chairman Bruce Kanema, and Copperbelt Youth Chairman Wallen Hinyama said political leaders who lost the election should respect the outcome and allow the country to move forward. Mr. Banda said the opposition should immediately accept defeat in the interest of national peace, arguing that continued political rhetoric could create unnecessary tension. He accused opposition figures of having treated the election as a political gamble and said the results had demonstrated that their strategy had failed. Mr. Banda also rejected what he described as attempts to create instability through political statements and propaganda after the election. He said UPND members remained confident in President Hakainde Hichilema's leadership and would continue supporting his administration. And Mr. Kanema said Northwestern Province had demonstrated strong support for President Hichilema during the election and would remain loyal to him. Mr. Kanema urged opposition parties to desist from actions or statements that could plunge the country into chaos or civil unrest. He said President Hichilema had personally campaigned across the country ahead of the election and had visited constituencies and districts to engage voters. Mr. Kanema further credited the administration's policies and programs implemented during its first 5-year mandate for strengthening public confidence in the president. He said the UPND youth leadership was prepared to defend the president politically while respecting the country's democratic institutions. Meanwhile, Mr. Hinyama also called on opposition leaders to accept the election outcome and work within the country's democratic framework. The youth leader's comments come amid heightened political debate following the announcement of the 2026 election results, with opposition figures questioning aspects of the electoral process.
In continuing with what I'm saying, my message politically is very simple. I want to urge Tonse guys, Tonse supporters, immediately to concede defeat in the interest of peace and move on. I want to say that I've been very consistent that Munduvire Makebi, they've never been presidential materials. It was gamble that they were involved in, but thank God they were stopped through the ballot, of course, through the Zambian people. They wanted to gamble, but that cannot work. Now that your gamble could not work for you, I want to advise you to immediately concede defeat in the interest of peace. Because why I'm saying this, you cannot continue bringing chaos in the country through statements, propagandas, when you did not even have your own political party that you stood on. You gambled on political parties. Again, you lose by over 1 million votes. Then you want to continue messing up with our peace. We are saying, stop it immediately.
For us as Northwestern Province, there's nothing that moves us when it comes to supporting the President Hakainde Hichilema. As you can see, Northwestern Province is a bedroom for President Hakainde Hichilema, and that we've demonstrated loyalty by way of giving massive vote and support to him. And there's nothing that will change the people of Northwestern Province from that regard. And so I just want to advise our colleagues, the Tonse Alliance, to desist from wanting to put this country into chaos and probably civil war. When we needed everyone to come on board and do the campaigns, President Hakainde Hichilema made sure that he visited every constituency and every district to campaign for himself. And the people on the ground also have seen what President Hakainde Hichilema has done, which has given him guarantee to the next term. We've seen that the policies that were formulated and implemented during the 5-year mandate that he was given in 2021 has actually given us better fruits that has given also, confidence into the Zambian people, and more especially the people of Northwestern Province.
We want to call upon our colleagues in the opposition. Let them tone down. The first 5 years of President Hakainde Hichilema, he taught us, his lieutenants, that we must not be vengeful. We must coexist. We must trade as brothers, as one Zambia, one nation in the markets, in the bus stops. President Hakainde Hichilema told us that you harass a citizen, you are on your own, and we obeyed. But we want to tell them that when we obey our president when he speaks, because for us he's police, it doesn't mean that UPND is weak. We are not weak. For now, I think we have known the type of people we are dealing with. They are heavily armed, and we are going to be vigilant. As a political party, we are not just going to leave things to chance or to the law enforcers. I want to call upon the youth of the country, and Copper Belt in particular, to be vigilant that those youth and women who are being used to insult.
The Law Association of Zambia, LAS, has called for the immediate restoration of access to the courts after the judiciary closed court premises in Lusaka on Monday amid the deployment of heavily armed military personnel. LAS President Arnold Kaluwa said the closure had taken place without a formal public explanation outlining why the courts were closed, how widely the measures applied, how long they would last, or how authorities would ensure continued access to justice. In a statement issued on Monday, Mr. Kaluwa said the lack of official information had left legal practitioners, litigants, and members of the public without clarity on the circumstances surrounding the closure. He warned that the closure could have serious consequences for people requiring urgent judicial intervention, particularly accused persons awaiting criminal proceedings, bail applications, habeas corpus applications, and other cases involving personal liberty. Mr. Kaluwa cited Article 13(3) of the Constitution, which requires authorities to bring a person arrested or detained on suspicion of committing a criminal offense before a court without undue delay if that person is not released. He also highlighted the constitutional significance of the closure during the current electoral period. Article 103(1) of the Constitution provides a 7-day period for a person to petition the Constitutional Court to challenge the election of a president-elect. Mr. Kaluwa therefore urged the judiciary to immediately explain what arrangements it had put in place to ensure that the closure did not prevent anyone from exercising a constitutional or statutory right. He said LAS recognize that exceptional circumstances, including genuine and immediate security threats, could justify temporary measures to protect judicial officers, judiciary employees, litigants, and members of the public. However, Mr. Kaluwa stressed that such measures must remain lawful and proportionate while preserving access to justice and respecting the constitutional independence of the judiciary. He further invoked Article 122 of the Constitution, which guarantees the autonomy of the judiciary and protects judges, judicial officers, and judiciary staff from interference in the exercise of judicial authority. Moving on in the news, the Non-Governmental Gender Organizations Coordinating Council, NGOCC, has condemned the closure of courts across Zambia, warning that the move could undermine citizens' constitutional right to challenge the outcome of the presidential election. NGOCC board chairperson Beauty Katebe said the unexplained closure was particularly concerning because it coincided with the constitutionally mandated 7-day period during which an aggrieved candidate can file a presidential election petition. In a statement issued on Monday, Ms. Katebe said the judiciary had made the courts inaccessible to the public without providing a clear explanation or timeline for reopening them.
The Non-Governmental Gender Organizations Coordinating Council, NGOCC, has noted with grave concern the closure of court premises across the country by the judiciary of Zambia. This wanton, unprecedented, and unexplained action has rendered the courts of law inaccessible to members of the public with no timeline given for their opening. Of particular concern is the timing of this closure, which has conveniently coincided with the constitutionally mandated 7-day window within which an aggrieved candidate may file a presidential election petition. By shutting the very institution citizens must approach to exercise this right, the judiciary risks obstructing a process the Constitution guarantees and has left the citizenry shocked and questioning what has become of a democratic Zambia that prides itself on good governance. The courts are a cornerstone of any democracy. They are the forum through which citizens, regardless of status, seek redress, hold power to account, and have their rights upheld. An inaccessible judiciary weakens the doctrine of separation of powers upon which our constitutional order rests and signals a troubling drift towards executive overreach. This is an indictment on the current government, whose duty is to safeguard the independence and accessibility of the courts. NGOCC further notes with sadness that this closure fits an unhealthy pattern of aggression witnessed prior to the elections, particularly directed at those opposed to the ruling government.
The Drug Enforcement Commission DEC has arrested 4 people in separate operations targeting drug trafficking networks across Muchinga, Southern and Lusaka provinces, seizing more than 25 kilograms of cannabis. The arrests followed intelligence-led operations aimed at disrupting illicit drug supply chains and trafficking routes, including cross-border networks. DEC Public Relations Officer Alan Tamba said the operations demonstrated the Commission's intensified surveillance of drug trafficking activities. In Muchinga Province, a joint team of DEC and Zambia police officers arrested Binwa Chanda, age 59, in the Tendere area of Chilumbi village in Mafinga district. Mr. Tamba said Mr. Chanda was arrested for allegedly trafficking 18.5 kilograms of dry loose cannabis, which officers found concealed in polythene bags after being wrapped in banana leaves. In Southern Province, DEC officers from Choma district arrested Selina Mwalama, age 51, a peasant farmer from Mwananjoke village in Sinazongwe district. Mrs. Mwalama was allegedly found in possession of 770 balls and loose cannabis weighing 4.6 kilograms. During the same operation, officers arrested Lucky Siavusu, age 28, an assistant shopkeeper and relative of Miss Mwalama, after he allegedly attempted to bribe officers with 5,000 kwacha to secure her release. Mr. Tamba said Siavusu had since been handed over to the Anti-Corruption Commission SEC for further investigations. At the Churundu one-stop border post, Mr. Tamba says DEC officers separately arrested Modest Wetu Kankonde, age 37, a Congolese national, in connection with alleged trafficking of 2.3 kilograms of cannabis. Mr. Kankonde was intercepted while traveling from South Africa and was reportedly destined for the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mr. Tamba warned drug traffickers that the Commission had intensified border control operations and would pursue people involved in transnational drug trafficking. Mr. Tamba also urged members of the public to remain vigilant and report suspected drug-related activities through established channels. He said public cooperation remained critical to helping law enforcement agencies disrupt drug trafficking networks and bring offenders to justice. And that particular story takes us to our second and last set of commercial break. But do join us for international and sports news when we come back. Do stay tuned.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and and around the world on Camnet television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet television, not just another channel.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodland, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Did you know that you've got the right to complain against any radio or television broadcast? Did you also know that every radio or television station has an obligation to respond and address your complaints when aggrieved? The first step is to complain to the station not more than 3 months after the broadcast took place. It is expected that the station will respond reasonably to you, that is within 14 days. If not satisfied, then escalate your problem to the Independent Broadcasting Authority.
We're at Mass Media Complex, Ali King Carter Road,
PO Box 32475, Lusaka, or call us on +260 211 250589 or visit our website at www.iba.org.zm.
IBA, promoting ethical and professional broadcasting.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Welcome back and thank you so much for still joining us on the Camnet News Desk. And now in international news. Somalia has long been on the front line of the climate crisis. Years of insufficient rainfall have led to water shortages, crop failure, and a loss of livestock. Decades of civil war have displaced millions, compounding the humanitarian crisis. Now, global funding cuts and rising prices due to the US-Iran war have left some 6 million people facing crisis levels of hunger, about a third of the population. Almost 2 million children under the age of 5 are suffering from acute malnutrition. At the Baidoa camp for displaced people in southwest Somalia, half of all children are malnourished and many are also suffering from infectious diseases, according to the international NGO Doctors Without Borders. Cuts to humanitarian aid have already forced more than 200 health and nutrition facilities to close, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, said last week, warning that the number could jump to more than 600. Here's a roundup of international stories courtesy of Africa News.
Somalia has long been on the front line of the climate crisis. Years of insufficient rainfall have led to water shortages, crop failure and a loss of livestock. Decades of civil war have displaced millions, compounding the humanitarian crisis. Now global funding cuts and rising prices due to the US-Iran war have left some 6 million people facing crisis levels of hunger, about a third of the population. Almost 2 million children under the age of 5 are suffering from acute malnutrition. Cuts to humanitarian aid have already forced more than 200 health and nutrition facilities to close, the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF said last week, warning that the number could triple. Dismantling aid is a decision to pay more later, the agency said, in security, lost development and in children's lives.
Liberia has agreed to accept hundreds of people deported from the United States in one of the largest such arrangements under the Trump administration's migration policy. The deportees will arrive over a year, with the first group of 20 expected Thursday.
Liberia intends to accept up to 1,200 persons to be transferred from the United States of America within a year. The persons to be transferred to Liberia are third country nationals, some of whom may wish to seek asylum in Liberia. Honor the agreement or arrangement. Those to be transferred from the United States of America to Liberia will include citizens or nationals of African and Western Hemisphere countries who are medically authorized to travel.
The Trump administration has struck deals with several African countries to accept deportees from third countries. But critics say some agreements could involve migrants protected from deportation to their home countries by U.S. immigration judges over safety concerns.
Iran says it has discovered more than 7.5 trillion cubic feet of natural gas in South Fars province. The oil minister says about 5.7 trillion cubic feet could be recovered, enough to supply one phase of the giant South Pars field for around 15 years. By God's grace, we are able to add to the country's national wealth by discovering vast gas reserves in a field in the south of Fars province. The minister added that the field could generate tens of billions of dollars as Iran faces growing pressure on energy exports amid U.S. naval blockade restricting oil shipments. Fortunately, this enormous volume of gas has particularly important characteristic. It is what we call sweet gas. Because the gas is sweet, it helps bring down development costs and the cost of production and operation. Iran has not yet disclosed the field's name or when production could begin. For now, officials are presenting the discovery as a major addition to the country's energy reserve amid an intensifying confrontation with Washington.
And finally, in sports news this evening, KABWE Warriors have intensified preparations for the 2026 Transitional League after returning to training at Royal Stadium as the new campaign approaches. The team held a training session at the stadium on Monday as players and the technical bench continued to sharpen their preparations ahead of the league's October 3 kickoff. The return to Royal Stadium provides the squad with an opportunity to work in familiar surroundings as it builds fitness, tactical discipline and match readiness before competitive action begins. The 2026 Transitional League will run from October 2026 to January 2027, with the Zambian Premier League adopting a two-stream format during the shortened campaign. The league will open after the Charity Shield, which is scheduled for September 19, between defending champions Power Dynamos and Red Arrows. The international break from September 21 to October 6 has pushed the opening league fixtures to October 3 and 4. The opening round fixtures features several high-profile encounters, including defending champions Power Dynamo Strip to Konkola Blades, while Nkana will visit newly promoted. All 10 opening round matches are scheduled for 15 hours according to published fixtures, although selected matches could be adjusted to accommodate television coverage. The transitional format is designed to bridge the gap between the previous league calendar and the new football season, making a strong start particularly important for clubs seeking momentum before the campaign concludes in January. And that sporting item brings us to the end of this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But before we go, a recap of stories that made headlines. Court closure threatens access to justice, warns TIZ. 79 arrested in Lusaka cybercrime crackdown. SALUBUSA accepts election outcome, urges SAKALA to save MATERO. In international news, aid cuts leave millions of Somali children facing hunger. In sports, KABWE Warriors steps up preparations for 2026 Transitional League at Railway Stadium. We now look at the Camnet verse of the day, coming from the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 10. It reads, "He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity." That ends our Bible reading, and that concludes this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But dear viewer, like always, do remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel. Now showing on Topstar channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the KenStream app. Now, on behalf of the entire production team, I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. Good evening and God bless.